Okay, this is Coach Dez here. We're going to talk about the Browns. This is the offense numbers for 2019. And this is the offense numbers for 2020. Now, the Browns are in the situation where, yes, you were tied for second place in 2020. But you came a long way from 2019 being 6-10 to 11-5 last year. I'm going to tell you now, I don't see that happening this year. You got to remember, a lot of teams had a lot of players that opted out, and they were not playing at the level of expectation that everyone expected them to be at. So with that being said, we're going to focus on what you need and what you don't need in the draft, as well as where you stayed the same. And I'm going to tell you now, you stayed the same through all offense and defense. Attitudes have got to be put on the shelf. You cannot carry that from game to game to game and then have an attitude or show out when you beat a certain team. Your mind should not be focusing on one team and one team only. Your focus should be on the big dance. You want to get to the Super Bowl. But in order for you to get to the Super Bowl, you got to take that attitude of yours and put it on the shelf and focus on one game at a time. So what, you beat the Steelers? Oh well, big deal. But you didn't go anywhere from there. Okay? So again, focus on one team at a time. Don't celebrate the win as we did it. No, you haven't done nothing. Let's focus on the next game and get it together. And our goal is to get to the Super Bowl. Okay? So you're going to have a rough ride this year. So let's look at what you did and did not do. So rushing right in 2020 was 4.72 yards. Rushing to the right in 2019 was 4.85. Do you see what I'm saying? That they're both the same. Rushing to the left was 5.17 in 2019. Rushing to the left in 2020 was 5.39. Again, the same. Passing to the right was 11.89 yards. Passing to the right was 12. That looked like the same to me. Passing down the middle was a 15.5. Passing down the middle was 11.56 in 2020. Do you see how you dropped 3 yards? Or technically 4. But anyway, and passing to the left was 15.57. Passing to the left was 10. So that's almost the same. Sacks. We have 2.69 in 2019. Sacks 1.88 in 2020. Now, in the second quarter, you had 10 sacks and 9 sacks in the second and third quarter for the whole season. But in 2019, you had 17. So you cleaned up getting sacked in the fourth quarter. But you still have these two that you need to worry about. Okay, interceptions. You're down to 0.56 in 2020, 1.5 in 2019. That's an improvement. Fumbles, 1.12 in 2020, 2.88 in 2019. So, again, quarterback. Your overall passing rating, overall passing average in 2020 was 61.9. You averaged 25.5 points per game in 2020. But in 2019, your overall passing average was 60.3. 61.9 is 60.3 is not that big of a difference. Points was 20.9 points averaged in 2019. Do you see what I'm getting at? So you only averaged 3 more points. 21 to 25. 21, 21. 4 points, okay. But again, if I score 7 points and you only score 3, and then I go back and score again another 7 points, and you only score 3, the score is 14-6. You cannot win a game by just kicking field goals. So as you can see, your average is about the same. Very little has changed. I don't know if you had any guys that opted out last year and you're going to be a different team this year, but you got to utilize the running back you got and the wide receiver and tight end. You didn't do much of that, and I think they could have had more yardage than they needed. But let's look at your defense, because I can tell you now, your defense is what gave your games away. So here's 2019 numbers. And here's 2020 numbers. You cannot rely on one person to help y'all out, okay? One person is not going to get the job done. So rushing right, you got 4.5 yards you gave up in 2020. 5 yards in 2019. Just a little slight improvement, but not by much. Rushing left was 5.4 to the left, 5.23 in 2020, which you stayed the same. Passing to the right was 9.68. Passing to the right was 10.87. About the same. Passing down the middle is 13 yards in 2019. Passing down the middle was 12. Slight improvement, but not by much. Passing to the left was 11.9 in 2020. Passing to the left in 2019 was 11.15. About the same. Sacks, 2.44 per game, 2.69 per game. About the same. Interceptions was 0.75. Fumbles was 1.19 in 2020. In 2019, 0.88. Interceptions and 0.88 in fumbles. Now this is what I'm getting at. The defense points they gave up was 26.2 to their opponents in 2020. 2019 was 24.6. You gave up 2 points extra. The overall passing average per opponent was 65.2% in 2020. And in 2019, it was 61.8. That's a big difference. When you're trying to win the game, especially the Super Bowl, you can't rely on the one person to help run across here and catch and intercept and do all of this. You need teamwork. So your corners, your middle linebackers, DBs, safeties, somebody got to step up to the plate and help out. Okay? I really don't know if you will finish tied for second. Will you get first? And your division is going to be very hard. But we'll see. That's all I can say. I got to see who you draft. I know a lot of your teams already have players picked out. And I'm not trying to steer or tell you to go different. All I'm saying is to evaluate your team before you go and make the right draft picks. But see, I can't wait till August come. I will know who's going and who's not. So with that being said, peace out.